Today on Softball 360, presented by the ASA, the showdown in Motown on the Stadium Power Tour in Detroit. Team Easton, Mike in Combat, and Dee Marini take on Comerica Park, home of the Tigers. Meet Coach E, Ken Ericksen, the headmaster of Team USA. Venus Taylor goes one-on-one with Coach E as the Americans prepare to play the world. This is not your typical softball team. Winning is defined by much more than the final score. These players are all U.S. military veterans, and it's hard not to see the price they paid. Follow the progress of the Wounded Warriors, the only amputee softball team in the world. Those stories and a tour of the new home of the ASA Super, Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark. Ready to rock and fire? Great, because Softball 360 starts right now.
Excited to bring you the news, features, and the how-to.
All right, it's time to get it on.
Greetings, softballers, and welcome to Softball 360, presented by the ASA. I'm your host, Carly Applin, and we're going to get this softball party started with an inside look at Team USA. Venus Taylor, our feature reporter, is going to give us a behind-the-scenes look at Team USA as they represent America, all led by head coach Ken Ericksen.
Imagine the job description: scout, evaluate, and create the best women's softball team in the world. If that's not enough, take 18 superstars and get them to play as a team, plus travel the world, all while representing the United States. Challenging? You bet. But for Team USA head coach Ken Ericksen, this is what he lives for.
You know, you start with 48 and you're whittling it down to who could be the best in these situations, who could be your best personnel, and what's the type of philosophy you have offensively, defensively, pitching-wise, and so forth. So when you got it down to 24, you know, we brought 24 players in, and not one player that didn't make the final 17, not one player played themselves off the program. I mean, that was the difficult evening for the selection committee to come up with that final 17, and I don't mind telling you that it was a very sleepless night.
Coach Ericksen is amazing. He has so much knowledge to give to these players, and they're still actually learning the game. We interviewed them the other day, and they said, you know, we are still learning, and it's great to see players at this level who still want to learn the game. He instills great confidence in the players, and he gets them to play together as a whole. There is no doubt that they're playing together as a team, and they're doing a great job.
Coach E has a world-class softball resume. College and pro standout, Olympic gold winner in 2004, and the winningest coach in USF history with 11 NCAA appearances. When his team wears the USA colors, Coach E knows they have to be sound on the field and off.
You know, the philosophy of staying in the moment is huge for me. You know, I'm not a big statistical guy, in all honesty, when it comes to what you did in the past. But what we're going to try to do, and what we're going to try to accomplish today, and what they're presenting to us. So it's a respond and react type of thought process. I think that we do better with that in life, and that's what we're trying to instill in these young girls today.
He really knows the game, and every day I learn something new, that's for sure. Like, he's one of those people, he'll say something and you're like, wow, it seems so easy. It just makes playing a lot more fun.
Team USA is a hand-picked squad of softball superstars. A victory in the recent World Cup established their reputation, and they are quick to point out that success starts at the top.
He's a very, like down-to-earth coach, and he's kind of different from what I'm used to playing for, and, I absolutely love it. I'm learning something new every single day, and, he challenges me. All of us, makes us really think.
We just have to believe in ourselves. We have to do what we know how to do, and believe and trust that what Coach E has us doing is better than what the other team's going to do. Stay a little bit more mentally sharp, physically sharp.
It's about relating to people and talking to people, because in all honesty, if you think about it, as a coach of programs, your job is to put the best team on the field and get a W. Well, why would you try to make anybody in your organization feel bad about themselves if you're trying to all work together to get the W? So there's different approaches. That's my approach. But I've got great people to work with. When you have great people to work with, it makes it a lot easier.
For more on Team USA, head to softball360.com as they head to the Netherlands for the ISF World Championships. More ahead on Softball 360. Stay tuned.
Still ahead, meet a softball team sharing inspiration across the nation as the Wounded Warriors play ball. For these war vets, softball is much more than a game, and their story will rouse you. The ASA Long Haul Bombers are getting some tips from the Tigers as they prepare for a one-of-a-kind home run show in Detroit. Can they claw out of one of the largest parks in the Bigs? Get ready for the showdown in Motown. And check out this field of dreams. Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark in Oklahoma City, home of the Red Hawks of the Pacific Coast League, the AAA affiliate of the Houston Astros. It's a nifty ballpark located at the corner of Johnny Bench and Mickey Mantle Drive and seats about 9,000. It was recently named the #2 minor league ballpark in the nation by Baseball America. Bricktown Ballpark is also the site of the ASA Super and the Stadium Power Tour Finals on Friday, September 26th. For more info, log on to softball360.com. Softball 360 is brought to you by ASA USA Softball, the national governing body of softball in the U.S. By Easton Sports, there is a difference. The difference is Easton. By Mikan Sports, elite equipment for the elite player. Mikan Sports. By DeMarini. Upgrade your game with the DeMarini Stadium CL22 and Flipper Aftermath. And by OfficialGear.com, the one-stop shop for umpires and officials.
Welcome back to Softball 360. Time now for the showdown in Motown as the ASA Long Haul Bombers prepare to do battle at the home of the Tigers. Here's a preview of what you can expect from Comerica Park as the defending champ Denny Crine is in the mix.
Dateline Detroit, Comerica Park. While it looks and feels brand new, Comerica actually opened in 2000. Subtle salutes throughout the ballpark to the legendary previous home, Tiger Stadium. Check out the overhanging bleachers and the historical Tiger kiosks created by local artisans.
It's big, that's for sure. You know, it wasn't like we were hitting them very deep. I think 345 down the line. So
the Tiger theme is just about everywhere at Comerica. From paws to jaws, you name it. Just outside the park, a giant-sized tiger has become the place to meet, greet, and growl. Inside the park, feline features abound, from a cat-themed carousel to, would you believe, a 50-foot Ferris wheel. Today, 7 lucky Detroit softballers are on-field guests, each youngster cheering on one of the ASA Long Haul Bombers.
Hit him out.
Attaboy. There you go. As game time approaches, the division-leading Tigers share secrets of where to aim in the Tiger Den. Time will tell as Combat, Mikan, and Easton get ready for the showdown in Motown, in a town that knows plenty about big hits.
Plenty more ahead on Softball 360 presented by the ASA. Don't go anywhere.
When Softball 360 returns, meet the Wounded Warriors, the nation's only amputee softball team. Find out how these war vets continue to inspire and play the game they love. And teams Mikan, Easton, Combat, and DeMarini are cued and ready to test the limits of Comerica Park, home of the Tigers.
Up next on Softball 360, a story of softball and inspiration. The Wounded Warriors are a team made up of amputees wounded in war. This team is the face of courage as they're finding a new way to play and inspire on the field.
Game time at the McQuades in Bismarck, North Dakota, the legendary world's largest softball tourney with close to 500 teams prepping to play ball.
The McQuades tournament is one of a kind. This is 39th year of it. It's a charity tournament.
So all the umpires that you see here this weekend are donating their game fees. The proceeds that come in from the entry fees and stuff, they go right to all the McQuades charity. It's just a great event.
But this is not your typical softball team. No, sir. For this team, winning is defined by much more than the final score. These players are all U.S. military veterans of the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, and it's not hard to see the price they paid. Each player on this team is an amputee.
I was in the 82nd Airborne Division, served 2 tours to Afghanistan. I stepped on an IED.
You know, I was over doing combat patrols with some of the infantry guys, and, you know, I had a bad day.
Meet the Wounded Warriors, the nation's only amputee softball team. Hand-picked players who play softball and share inspiration across the nation.
These guys, they could have given up. You know, we've got guys on our team that have lost arms, hands, both sets of legs, and they didn't give up at all.
On this day in North Dakota, the Warriors start early. After practice, they meet for lunch at the Bismarck Elks Club with the media, military vets, and ASA officials.
We're all living our new normal, and it is extremely difficult to live with one arm or missing both your legs, but with the right mindset and perseverance, anything is possible. We really inspire and bring a hopeful message to everyone that watches us play.
And if you talk to some of them, it's inspiring, their stories, but just their personalities are so positive, and it's just a great, great thing.
Later, as game time approaches, they prep for the competition, but always making time to meet with fans.
I'm glad you guys can play ball.
Oh, yeah.
I know you guys are going to kick little butt, too.
Oh, yeah, that's the plan.
Okay.
That's the plan.
I'm rooting for you guys.
Good deal. Thank you.
Okay, you bet.
It's important to note the Warriors will only play able-bodied teams and teams that play 110%. A victory must be earned.
When we go to a game and we get on the field, I think people are thinking, well, this is nice. These guys are from the war and they suffered, you know, terrible traumatic injuries. But by the second inning, they forget they're amputees and treat them like any other player.
One member of the Warriors is Len Anderson. You may recall we featured Len last season on Softball 360. Len took BP in St. Louis with Miken's Denny Crine and showed he could keep up with the world's greatest home run hitters.
Anytime you see him, you know, out there with the prosthetic, catching balls, catching ground balls, anytime you go to complain about something, it kind of says, you know, it could be worse.
Today, Len has upgraded his glove and bat, but no need to update his spirit.
Anybody that watches our games or to overcome adversity and whatever it is in life, we try to promote that, try to get people to overcome that, and you know, never look back. So we live by the motto. We try to promote that motto upon everybody that comes out and watches us, and hope they take away something positive from it.
The Warriors are planning to raise funds for a softball camp that hosts children who are amputees. By training with the Warriors, the youngsters learn softball skills and life lessons.
These guys inspire these little kids, and these little kids inspire these guys, and it's just an amazing story in a short amount of time.
Sure, softball is just a game, but when the Wounded Warriors come to play, a life with no limitations comes to life.
For more on the Wounded Warriors, head over to softball360.com. There's a good chance the Wounded Warriors could be headed to your town. But time now for the ASA Challenge.
Hi, I'm here with Lauren Gibson of the USA National Team, and we have a softball challenge going on here today. Lauren, tell us, what's your strategy?
Just get out there, try and make the throw on the first one, and just hopefully get out there and get a good time.
Now, I've noticed that this has gotten really competitive. I've noticed we have some taunters, some smack talking going on. How do you feel about that?
I'm not going to let it get in my head. I'm just going to play my game and just hopefully beat them.
All right, well, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Gibby, you ready?
Gibby, great job. 31 seconds. You have the time to beat. Great job.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
A little tired.
A little out of breath. What was it that put you ahead of everybody else?
I'm not really sure. Probably running, I guess, a sprint.
Running was definitely your strength. Great job.
Thank you so much.
Plenty more ahead on Softball 360 presented by the ASA. Don't go anywhere.
It's game on at the home of the Tigers. When we come back, find out if Team Mikan can put some heat on Team Easton in the hunt for the Manufacturers Cup. If anyone can, Crine and Flip Philby are ready to pounce. Stay tuned. Softball 360 is brought to you by ASA USA Softball, the national governing body of softball in the U.S. By Combat Sports, not all bats are created equal. By Evil Sports, the best softball on the planet is evil. evilsports.com. By bpathletics.com. For the best service and price, bpathletics.com. By softballcenter.com, the site for major softball news. And by officialgear.com, the one-stop shop for umpires and officials.
I'm Carly Applin for Softball 360 presented by the ASA. It's time now for my favorite part of the show. It's round 5 of the Stadium Power Tour. The site, Detroit, home of the Tigers, where Team Easton, Combat, DeMarini, and Mikan are ready to rock at Comerica Park.
A hot, muggy Michigan afternoon greets the ASA long-haul Bombers at Comerica Park. After dodging thunderstorms, it's time to get after it. The rules of engagement are straightforward. Each slugger gets 15 swings, and each home run is worth 1 point, except the last pitch, the almighty money ball, worth 2 points, and often the difference between victory and defeat. Leading off, the current leader on the Power Tour, Easton's Scott Kirby. But the top cat runs into a wall of muggy, humid air, thick as molasses. Curbs tags a few, but ends his shift at the plate with a very un-Kirby-like 5 points. Up next to take on the rainforest is Chris the Crusher Larson from Team DeMarini. Larson gets it on early, sending souvenirs deep in the yard with a whip-like swing, using his DeMarini Stadium CL22 bat. Chris is one of the youngest players on the tour and has already claimed a championship. Today in Tiger Town, Crusher ends with a handful, and we have an early tie at 5. Three-time champ Denny Crine from Mikan steps in next, and at 6'6", close to 300 pounds, the big man is ready to lead, not follow. And for sure, he won't get out of the way. Crine's go-to move, the classic windmill-like swing, is working. DC has found a way to crack the code at Comerica with some massive blasts, and he quickly jumps to the lead with 7 points. Team Combat sports a clever mix of youth and seasoned experience, led by a grizzled vet, Johnny McGraw. The Crawdaddy claimed a championship on the tour a few years back, played for the Astros, and still has what it takes. McCraw is cocky with a swagger and keeps the softball party humming in the heat with 6 points and settles into second place. For Brian, the ball will be flying Wegman. The thick air could be sliced and put on a Coney Island bun. Weggs was a member of last year's Manufacturers Cup champs, and Team Easton is back ready to defend the title. Sports run deep in the Wegman family. His brother Bill played for the Milwaukee Brewers for more than a decade. Weggs continues the tradition and ties Crine for the lead with 7 points. The thick air may have held back a few evil softballs, but it had little effect on Kevin Flip Philby. The hefty lefty from Mikan takes aim at right field, and they are dancing in the streets of Motown. Bang, zoom, flipper, and you can count it. He now has tied Weggs and teammate Denny Crine, but the former champ has his eyes on the prize. And on the almighty money ball, take it to the bank. Flip's 9 points put him on top in Tiger Town.
I was just mishitting a few myself. Like today would have been a perfect day for me to go ahead and throw up a 12 or 13, but I'll take 9 points and the win for the day.
With 7 points from Crine and Flips 9, Mikan is ready to get back in the hunt for the Manufacturers Cup. Check out the final standings from the Showdown in Motown, and you can check out the season standings online at softball360.com.
Each event keeps getting better and better, and we are off and running to the Stadium Power Tour Finals on September 26th in Oklahoma City. That's all the time we have for you today. Thanks for watching Softball 360. Stay with us at softball360.com, and of course, hit me up on Facebook and Twitter. I'm your host, Carly Applin. Now get out to the park and play.
Next week on Softball 360, a full report on the ASA Gold 16 and under National Championships. And spend some time with Dee Marini's Bruise Brothers, Chris the Crusher Larson, and Bubba Brungart. Find out what it takes to become an umpire at the highest level of softball as we meet the crew in blue, the ASA umps. Those stories and much more next week on Softball 360, presented by the ASA.